Thanks for tuning in, everybody. My name is Brock Page, and I do random sports picks for fun. You also might be surprised as to who I'm picking in the early games today. If you just can't wait and you want to save yourself some time, check out my picks for this video in the description section below. Once again, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. And with that said, let's get into some early game picks for the 31st. First game I have for you, it is going to be Denver at Charlotte. The betting opened up with the Hornets as the 1.5 point favorites with the total points at 224.5. Since then, Charlotte's now -2 against the spread with the total points dropping down to 220.5. Currently, the Hornets are laying 135 on the money line, and at the moment, 67% of the bettors think Charlotte gets the job done. Speaking of the Hornets, they've only covered 39% versus teams allowing more than 102 a game. They're facing a Denver team who covers a solid 72% of their games at the current point spread. Denver games have also gone over the line in 3 of their last 4. On the other side, Charlotte games have gone over the line in 5 straight games. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick as I think Denver +2 gets the job done against the spread. When it comes to total points, I think this one goes over 220.5. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think Denver gets the job done. Next game, Indiana at Toronto. The betting opened up with the Raptors as the 7-point favorites with the total points at 206.5. Since then, Toronto is now -6 against the spread with the total points moving upward to an even 207. Currently, the Raptors are laying 250 on the money line, and at the moment, 58% of the bettors think Toronto gets the job done. Speaking of the Raptors, they've been good against the number as of late, covering 3 of their last 4. They're facing a Pacers team who's failed to cover in 3 of their last 4 and covers just 38% as the official road underdog. On a side note, both teams' last 2 games have gone over the total posted points, respectively. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick as I think Toronto -6 gets the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total points, I'm in full agreement with the bettors as I think this one goes over 207. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think Toronto wins at home. Next game, Orlando at Boston. The betting opened up with the Celtics as the 11-point favorites with the total points at 216. Since then, Boston's now -10.5 against the spread with the total points jumping up to 217.5. Yeah, that's right. Currently, the Celtics are laying 800 on the money line, and at the moment, 57% of the bettors think Orlando gets the job done. Speaking of the Magic, they've been haggard against the number as of late, covering just 1 out of their last 4 games. Along with failing to cover in their first 2 matchups with the Celtics, this Orlando team has covered just 39% overall in all games. On a side note, Boston games have gone over the total posted points in 3 of their last 4. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick, and I'm taking the Boston Celtics -10.5, getting the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total points, I think this one goes over 217.5. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think Boston wins this one at home. Talk about haggard. Wow, that was a terrible read. All right, next and final game for the show, Philadelphia +10.5 at Cleveland with the total points at 219. When it comes to the spread, Cleveland's been piss poor as of late, failing to cover in 3 of their last 4. They're facing a Sixers team who successfully covered the spread in their first 2 meetings with Cleveland. Philly also covers nearly 70% versus teams allowing more than 102 a game. On a side note, the Sixers' last 3 games have all gone under the total posted points. All that said, I'm ready to make my pick as I'm taking Philadelphia +10.5, getting the job done against the spread. When it comes to the total points, I think this one stays under 219. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think Cleveland wins in a close one. All right, before I wrap it up here, let's take a look at my heavily scrutinized teaser picks. The following parlay is a 8-point 3-pick super teaser. Pick number 1, I have Denver +10. Pick number 2, Orlando +18.5. And my third and final pick for the teaser, Philadelphia +18.5. Just a reminder, my 8-point Sweetheart Super Teasers pay 5 to 6 and get graded as a loss should any game result in a push. You can find this exotic wager in several online sports books and in the state of Delaware. Well, folks, that's going to do it for me. Once again, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. And you're really dumb. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page predictions and sports picks, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.